Alright. Here we go. Turnabout Legacy, where I think we're playing as Edgeworth's daddy. So let's get this show on the road. Episode 3, Turnabout Legacy. What shall we make today, kids?
Samson and Judy's Bake and Ball.
Oh damn, voice acting. Macarons, waffles with creams, chiffon cakes that are light as a dream. Laugh and sing, smile, it's true. All the sweetness waiting for you. Look there, watch where? Over there. The oven's got something special to share. Ping. Now let's see what you got for you. I don't know. It's cooking time. Are you ready to make something special together? Well, talk about a blast from the past. Hey Gregory, I'm going back there tomorrow with your boy. I'm finally going to find out what happened 18 years ago. Flashback. April 2nd, 10:05 a.m. Zodiac Hall, Fountain Room. Well, Fender, are you finally going to tell me what we're doing here? Why have you brought me to an art gallery of all places? Hey, yeah, nothing going on. Seemed like the perfect chance to come and enjoy the magic of star signs stuff together. I'm leaving. Chill, big guy. I'm just joking. You know about the IS-7 incident, yeah? Your old man's last case? Of course. Von Karma took great pleasure in showing me the files as soon as I became a prosecutor. And I've reviewed them again last night after your invite, see? I was also present at the trial all those years ago, although my memories of it are somewhat hazy. As a child, I was completely in awe of my father. The sight of him in court was inspirational. Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law, and opposite of him, the man who would become my mentor, Manfred von Karma. It was quite a case. However, it ended with the conviction of the accused. Ah, so you were there too? You were in the courtroom for Gregory's final outing? Well, that'll make explaining things easier. I wanted you to know something else, see? That something being what really went down. Not the truth in those files, but the capital T truth. It was 18 years ago, smack dab in the middle of a real doozy of a winter. The buildings were covered with a blanket of snow. It looked like the streets were lined with popsicles. But things weren't so innocent behind those frozen doors. In fact, some pretty sordid stuff went down. This was back before yours truly was the fine figure of an attorney you see before you today. 18 years ago. December 24th, 5 p.m. Detention Center. Visitors room. Hey, Mr. A, this one really came out of the blue, huh? Okay. It did. Fuck. I forgot the voice I was doing for him. Okay. It did. We were called in before. It did. We were called in before the ink of the arrest papers were even dry. My name is Gregory Edgeworth. I'm a defense attorney. I'm here visiting a client with my assistant Eddie Fender. A murder on Christmas Eve? What's the world coming to? In the dark of the night, at the end of the day, I saw two timely saviors coming my way. Welcome, my friends, to the visitor's room, and if we're not friends yet, I'm sure we will be soon. Oh my god. Whoa, talk about an entrance. I was not expecting that. Neither was even the bailiff, even the even the officer is like, oh yeah, jazz hands, introducing him. No, man, Gregory's voice is like an intermediate between the deep Kronos voice and the normal voice I have, so man, it's hard to try and find the in-between. Neither was I. Sorry if I surprised you. I'm just so happy to see you both. Thanks so much for coming out. Seriously, I can't thank you enough. You're the accused, I take it. I am. Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law, at your service. I look forward to representing you. This is my assistant, Eddie Fender. Pleased to meet you, sir. I'll do everything I can to help. Calm now, Edward. Calm down, please. You'll have to forgive him. He's still new to this. He's been helping me out part-time, but he's far from a fully fledged lawyer material yet. Nonetheless, I'm hoping he'll be some assistance in investigating the particulars of this case. Gregory and Eddie, it's an honor to meet you both. My job as a defense attorney is to save my clients from wrongful convictions. So the first thing to do is to establish whether or not he is truly innocent. Perhaps we could begin by having you tell us a little about yourself. What am I thinking? I haven't even told you my name. I am Samson Tangaroa. What? It really is you? Samson Tangaroa? The world's greatest confectioner? You flatter me, my young friend. And call me Samson. All my pals do. Oh, wow. Thanks, Samson, I will. I can't believe I'm meeting you in person. It seems Eddie knows something of our client. Mr. E, it's the Samson Tangaroa, the singing, dancing, confectionery making sensation. You know what? I'm just not gonna sing. Just go with it. Yeah, no, I just gave up on the singing. Oh my goodness. even the police officer. No. I almost started dancing along. No way! I could sing with Samson Tangaroa! This is a dream come true! Huh. Thanks, little pal. It means a lot to hear you say that. My apologies, but I think we need to discuss the matter at hand. Of course. I'm sure you're both very busy. Alright, where would you like me to start? So my defense attorney back? Yeah, there he is. So you're not just a confectioner, but also a singer and a dancer. I sure am. When I'm having fun, my body just starts moving. You must really enjoy making desserts. Haha, wouldn't be much of a confectioner if I didn't. I live to make sweets that will bring joy to others. Hey, they're not just things, they're works of art. Sparkling, dazzling, mouth-watering creations, the stuff that the dreams are made out of. So he aims to create joyous and inspirational pieces, does he? I understand the incident in question happened at your mansion. It did. We were holding an international confectionery contest there when a body was found inside one of my creations. Inside of one of your... No way! The detective in charge placed me under arrest because of it, and now here I am. But I could never take a life. Never. I'm sure the police will see that too in time. They'll realize their mistake. I sure hope so. And what can you tell us about the victim? His name is Artie Frost. He was taking part in the contest. Mr. Frost was a wonderful confectioner. His creations were things of real beauty. I just don't understand. Why did he have to die? I'm sorry. He seems genuinely upset over the victim's death. I think I have a pretty good measure of the man now. Mr. Tangaroa, there's just one last thing I need to confirm with you. You didn't kill Mr. Frost, correct? Correct. I swear to you that I didn't do it. Like I told you, I could never take a life. Never. He seems quite sincere. Alright, I'm going to take you at your word. Thank you for being so forthright with me. Likewise. It's good to talk with somebody other than those detectives. We'll head to the scene of the crime and see what we can learn. We'll be in touch when we have something more to tell you. Goodbye, Gregory. Goodbye, Eddie. I'm counting on you both. December 24th, 6 p.m., contest venue, Fountain Room. It's pretty cold out there, huh, Mr. E? I never saw so much snow. Yes, and it seems like it will be letting up. It doesn't seem like it will be letting up anytime soon. But just look at this place. What a sweet house Samson's got. It's huge. Yes, big enough to hold an international confectionery contest, no less. Welcome, welcome everyone. Come on in. We'll have some fun. Have some fun. Oh no. Are you alright? I'm sorry. Would you happen to be Mr. Gregory Edgeworth by any chance? I would. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Eddie Fender, Mr. Edgeworth's assistant. Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender, welcome to our humble abode. Judy Bound, it's an honor to meet you both. I'm the housekeeper here, and Mr. Tangaroa's assistant. You're no housekeeper, you're Judy Bound, the Judy Bound. You know a little something of my work? A little? I watch you on TV every chance I get. I'm Bacon Bob's biggest fan. It's very kind of you to say so. We'd be nonetheless without our fans. And what might Bacon Pop be? It's only the biggest show on TV. Every kid on the planet loves it. The dynamic duo of Sansom and Judy make delicious sweet stuff, all while singing and dancing. Like this, check it out. Oh, god damn it. She's just spitting. That was a wonderful performance, Mr. Fender. Bravo! I dance along every time I watch the show. Perhaps Miles might enjoy it too. I'll suggest it later. But all this dancing really takes it out of a guy. Takes out a guy, out of a guy. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm the world's worst hostess. Here, nothing relaxes the body and mind quite like a cup of tea. This is Ceylon, correct? It's delicious. Its citrus aroma is said to improve one's ability to concentrate, as I recall. Interesting. So this is what Ceylon tea tastes like, huh? How odd. The sauce is cold. Yes, it's so that the tea cools down more quickly, I'm afraid. Some of our guests don't like it too hot. I see. These teacups are very unique too. The design is really something. You think so? Thank you so much. I ordered them all the way from France. They are my absolute favorite. They were designed by a marvelous sculptor named Paul Halik. Have you heard of him? He makes the most amazing tableware in the world. You're clearly a big fan of his work. Oh, I am. These teacups are my greatest treasure. She's certainly not afraid to show when she's passionate about something. If you don't mind, Miss Bound, I'd like to move on to the reason we're here. Can you tell us everything you know about the unfortunate incident that occurred earlier? Of course. I'm sorry for getting so distracted. I guess I'm still in shock. Because I'm the one who found the body, you see. You discovered the victim. Is it true that the body was recovered from inside one of Mr. Tangaroa's creations? It is. We were in the middle of the contest's final judgment phase when I heard the sound of something big collapsing from Samson's room. Samson, are you in here? Ah! I opened the door and went inside, and there was Mr. Frost's body. Thank you. I'm sorry to make you relive such a traumatic experience. Think nothing of it, please. I only wish I had more to tell you. Now, if you don't mind, Miss Bound, I'd like to begin our investigation of the crime scene. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender, you have to save Samson. He's no murderer. He could never do something like that. Of course. Leave it to us, Miss Bound. Thank you so much. I'll go serve the others their tea then. Come, Eddie, to the scene of the crime. Yes, sir, Mr. E. December 24th. Contest venue, Tangaroa's room. Oh, there's younger Detective Bad. No way! Everything in this room's made of chocolate. I can't believe I'm getting to see so many of Samson's creations this close and personal. I might be more excited myself if the room wasn't a murder scene. Just hearing you say that sends a shiver down my spine. It might just be the temperature in here. It's rather cold. Yeah, now that you mention it, it is pretty chilly. Defense on the scene already. That was fast. A pleasure to meet you, Gregory Edgeworth. I'm representing Mr. Tangaroa. This is my assistant, Eddie Fender. Nice to meet you. Bad. Detective Tyrell Bad. The detective in charge is named Bad, a man of few words. Sorry, it doesn't taste right. You're eating your notepaper? He likes to chew over his thoughts rather literally. I'm afraid it helps him to digest and remember them. It's a little quirk of his. Please try to ignore it. Although I'd be the first to admit that it's easier said than done. With the introductions out of the way, Detective Bad, would you mind if we joined you in investigating the scene? Sorry, not gonna happen. What? How come? Mr. Edgeworth is Mr. Tangaroa's attorney. Yeah, and attorneys will do anything to get them off the hook. Even put words in their clients' mouths. You think I need that on my crime scene? Mr. Edgeworth would never do something like that. I don't trust attorneys, okay, kid? Detective, you established my client's supposed guilt based on an investigation of the crime scene, correct? That's usually how it works, yeah. What of it? Then extend me the same courtesy. I believe he is innocent and I would like the chance to prove it. You believe he's innocent. You didn't even see the scene yet. That's some flimsy lawyering. That's exactly why I wish to see the scene for myself. I need to ensure that my belief is based on solid evidence and sound reasoning. You're about to tell me you're not leaving until I let you look over the scene. I am. Fine. Knock yourselves out. Thank you, Detective. But I'm coming around with you. Like I said, I don't trust attorneys. If you're good with that, go ahead and get to it. That was a lollipop this whole time? I must admit I didn't see that coming either. We better get started then. I'll need you to take notes, Eddie. On it, Mr. E. Let's get this over with. So this is where the body was discovered. Yeah, they took it away already, but everything else is just how we found it. It appears the body was inside the treasure chest. Yeah, a woman by the name of Bound found it. Samson, are you in here? Seems she heard something breaking and came in to see what it was. If only we had just a little more information. There's something else in here. Huh? It looks like a seal of some kind, with somebody's initials and intricate shape carved into it. Is it for making those fancy wax things on documents? Do you think it belonged to the victim? No idea, but it's gotta get logged anyway, so I'll take that. It's really rather impressive, making an entire ship out of chocolate. That's Samson Tangadoro for you. You just want to take a big bite out of it? Which bite to bite off first? No, that's a real head scratcher, you know. Bite any part of it, kid, and you'll be off this crime scene so fast your head will spin. Hey, it was just a joke. Stop staring at me like that. I do sometimes wish Eddie could keep his cool a little better. One of the stands for the ship is broken. The ship must have collapsed onto the treasure chest and smashed it open. Wait, do you think... Could that be how the victim died? Was he crushed by the ship? If he was, this becomes an accidental death and not a murder. You too serious? Don't worry, Detective. For the moment, we're simply discussing a possibility. I was being serious, though. Detective, can you tell us a little more about the state of the victim's body? Let me see. Got a picture here someplace. You can see for yourselves. Death was from blunt force trauma. And what about the weapon? Has it been found yet? You can ask the prosecutor in charge about that. The detective's not one for sharing much, I see. Would you mind if we borrowed this? No, skin off my nose. It sounds like it's official. Bound took it with an instant camera when she found the body. An instant camera? Like, it's disposable or something? No, it means that it develops the pictures right there and then when you take them. No way, that sounds pretty convenient. Now then, I better get my facts straight and take down some of my notes on my own. There's something in this picture that contradicts with the current crime scene. I need to call upon my powers of deduction to figure out why. There's no blood. What are you investigating, officer? Sir, I was just taking the temperature of the water here. And what have you learned? Oh, it's warm, sir. The stream in each room flows with the main fountain, and then the water is circulated back into the rooms. Unusual to say the least. I've never seen a house quite like this one. Rich folks, they're all crazy. How's it looking over here, officer? Nothing of interest in that cupboard, or... Yes, sir. So, there is. Oh, no, there isn't. Just a blowtorch used for cooking and some tableware, sir. You heard the man, Mr. Attorney. Nothing to add, am I right? No. So, you do have something to add? Oh, no. Can't get a straight answer out of anybody. Perhaps you should ask a straight question. This is a fine selection of nautical paraphernalia. You think one of them could be the murder weapon? No, they're all made out of chocolate. You'd have a hard time bludgeoning someone to death with one of them. Can't tell what's real in here. They really do look genuine. I can hardly tell the difference myself. A true testament to Mr. Tangaroa's skills. And you are... what voice do I give this guy?
Sorry. Meditating. Did you want something, detective?
Oh, I'm an attorney, not a detective. Gregory Edgeworth. A pleasure to meet you. And I'm his assistant, Eddie Vendor.
I see. Name's Carmelo Gusto. I am a confectioner here for the contest.
You are? What's your specialty, Mr. Gusto?
The art of air and sugar.
No way! Look at that! It's a little baby seahorse!
It's a dragon, a noble soaring creature of the skies.
That's a dragon? It does look more aquatic than airborne.
No need to sugarcoat it. My design sense is weak. I know that better than anybody. That's why I'm heading to Zhengfa when this is all over. I need to train hard.
Perhaps we should get off the subject of design sense for now. So what are you doing in here, Mr. Gusto? I didn't think they were allowing civilians on the scene yet.
Detective wanted to know more about one of the pieces in here.
Makes sense, seeing as he's a contestant. Perhaps I should ask him a few questions of my own. Those are some interesting implements you use, Mr. Gusto.
Sugar blowing pumps. They put air into the sugar.
They're so cool! It's like watching a swordmaster do his thing!
I'm no master. Not a day goes by that I don't hurt myself one way or another. That's why I wear red. That way doesn't matter when I make a mess. The way of the confectioner is a lonely one. You never stop learning. Not until you die.
The way of the confectioner sounds like a long one too, if he's still injuring himself on a daily basis. What can you tell us about the contest? Based on what we've seen so far, the flavors doesn't seem to be the only criteria at play.
The contest was Tangaroa's idea. It's about art. Confectionery as an art.
Confectionery as art?
Art you can eat. Every part of it. Every single item in this room is edible.
The whole place does kind of smell like chocolate.
Tangaroa is a genius. A once-in-a-generation talent. Flavor and flair. He has it all. And if you can't outdo the god of confections himself, you can't win.
I don't know, man. Beating out the greatest in the world seems kind of hard, yeah?
As it should be. Whoever beats him becomes the greatest in turn. That's the real prize here. Nothing else matters.
So you're competing for a title effectively.
And a treasure, the ultimate cookbook, Tangaroa's most prized possession. If you want to know more, it's written down here. It's the list of rules that was given out to the contestants.
Contest rules. A weird seal. Victim's body was found in the man's creation. The cause of death seems to have been blood loss following blunt force trauma. It's bleeding out.
Sorry, I don't know much about what happened. I only heard about it after the judging was over.
How was the judging organized?
It started at 3 p.m. Tangaroa began making the rounds right around then. He left his own room, then worked his way around the venue clockwise. My creations were the first to be judged. After that, he went to Scone's room. She's another one of the contestants.
What can you tell us about her?
Ruthless, brutal, there's nothing she wouldn't do to win. She was working with Cream, some kind of dreamscape. Then, last of all, Frost's room. His thing was flavored ice, sculptures this time, or so I've heard.
Bad found the body, while Tangaroa was still making the rounds. She panicked, ran to call the cops. Tangaroa went right on judging, claims he didn't know a thing about it, until afterward. Went ahead and looked over the victim's work, even though the guy was nowhere to be seen. Pretty suspicious behavior in anyone's book. I don't have enough information to challenge him on that yet. By the way, Detective Bad, what were you and Mr. Gusto talking about earlier?
I was going to ask the piece on the wall here.
I was going to ask about the piece on the wall here. The one in the frame. Seemed like something was off. Thought I better ask somebody who knows about this stuff. But then you bozo showed up and pulled me away from my very important work. Perhaps we can take a closer look at it together. Can't take a hint, can you? Mr. Gusto, would you mind helping us out?
Of course, confectionery is my life. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. Are these finger marks?
Yeah, but we don't know whose yet. Still haven't figured it out. No fingerprints, no ID.
Fingerprints without prints. They could certainly be important to the case. It's a real head scratcher, alright.
Not really. I'm guessing whoever it was wore gloves.
Aw, where's your sense of romance, of adventure? There doesn't tend to be much of either at a crime scene, Eddie.
It's a journal, belonging to the captain of the chocolate ship, also made of chocolate. A diary of despair, that's some title.
Come, Harkind, see how we crossed the sea and rode the red tide to misery. Quite a jaunty ride for such a tragic sounding tale.
A candelabra, made of chocolate. There's a title here, The Light of Life.
Well, this particular light seems to be missing one of its life-giving flames. Does it have some sort of symbolic meaning? Or could it be? Looks like a fire alarm.
Yeah, and before you start prodding it, it's not made of chocolate. Push it and bells will start ringing. People will come running from the security room. And a whole bunch of hassle. So don't. I know you want to, but don't.
Honestly, the thought hadn't even crossed my mind.
Typical attorney.
What does being an attorney have to do with anything? This must be the title of this piece. Angel beset by thorns. That's pretty mysterious. Really gets you thinking, huh? I think of a van.
You have good taste. I'm especially fond of it myself. Simply captivating.
Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Gusto praised me. No, Eddie. Don't make this into a thorny issue by bragging about it.
Ugh, you have bad taste.
What's that? A dad joke, Mr. Edgeworth? I better make note of this momentous occasion. Or did I make a joke, dad or otherwise? Who knew you could make a picture this pretty out of chocolate? Simpson really is a god among men. Is it really made out of chocolate, though? Looks far too much like a regular illustration to me.
You have a good eye. I'm impressed. That's no piece of candy. That's the ultimate cookbook.
The ultimate cookbook. In other words, the grand prize. What? So it's not made of chocolate after all?
No, the book is simply inframed in some. Tangaroa showed it to all of us when he had gathered us here to explain the rules.
So the participants knew that the grand prize was in this room the whole time.
Anyway, you see it too right. The frame. Something's missing.
The oddity Detective Bad was going to ask Mr. Gusto about earlier. Yes. You're right, Detective. Something is missing from this frame.
So it's not just me.
Huh? What's missing? I better show Eddie which part of the frame is missing some chocolate.
Take that!
Take that! Oh, wow, that's not the voice I expected from him. It's all like, take that! Look at the decorated work in the corner here. Something's missing, no? Oh yeah, it's different from the other side.
That's not like Tangaroa. The balance is all wrong.
But that's not all. Take a look around.
Every confection in this room is missing some small bit.
You're right. The candle holder, the nautical stuff, they're all like that. Did somebody deliberately damage them? That's a very good question.
Or did Tangaroa just want it to look like somebody messed with his work?
He never do something to his own creations. Never! Will this have some deeper meaning for the case? Are you alright, Eddie? Yeah. It sure is chilly in here. Yes, it wasn't exactly warm out in the fountain room either. But it's even colder in here. Would you like to borrow my jacket? No, I'm fine. But besides, you said you'd give it to me when I finally got my attorney's badge. Huh, I did, didn't I?
Why do they have the heat down so low? Chocolate needs to be kept at the right temperature. Take a look behind that panel on the wall. What panel?
Look at that! It was here this whole time.
There's one in each of the contest rooms. Tangaroa hid them so they wouldn't spoil the aesthetic of our works.
And what do the controls do?
They adjust the temperature and the lighting. Goes all the way down to minus 22 degrees Fahrenheit. Cold enough to keep any confectionery from melting.
So in effect, each room is a giant freezer. It's 59 degrees in here. No wonder I'm cold. Hey, Detective Bad, you mind if we turn it up a little?
Preservation of the crime scene is the foundation of detective work.
But I'm not a detective. The same goes for attorneys, Eddie. We must never disturb the scene of the crime.
Get used to the cold. It's all part of your training. Chocolate needs to be kept between 59 and 65 degrees. There's no way around it.
You know the temperature by heart, huh? Guess it is your job.
It's the very least I should know. Any real confectioner should be able to tell you that and more.
Alright, what about lollipops and cream?
If it's not too hot or too humid, a lollipop should be fine just about anywhere. Cream needs to be kept around 50 degrees.
Need to watch out for heat and humidity, huh? Duly noted. Detective Pat kind of brightened up when he was talking about lollipops, didn't he? Wasn't he? I suppose it must be very fond of them. I don't believe there is any more to be found here. These controls can be used to adjust the room's temperature and lighting. Red, yellow, green, dark blue, light blue, white. That's a huge range. Temperature is set to 59 degrees. Light color is set to white.
The pieces in here are made of chocolate, that's why. White light makes them look better.
Mr. Tangaroa must see the room itself as a part of his carefully crafted creations. Oops. Alright. There's some very tasteful tableware here, along with some kitchen utensils. This tea set is of the same design as the one Miss Bound served us with earlier. You think Samson could have been drinking tea out of that? The pot and cup were dusted for prints. His were the only ones they found. And was that the case for the utensils too? Everything else had been washed, so there weren't any prints to find. And if Mr. Tangaroa was wearing gloves while he was working on his confectionaries, that could explain why prints were only found on the teapot and cup. What does he look like when he's running? Wait, what am I looking at? Oh, back at the ship. Yeah. I must go out of the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. You said the only thing that had been removed from the scene is the body. Yeah, that and the piece of cloth that it was wrapped in. And something here doesn't quite add up. It doesn't. Take another look at the scene in front of us, detective. A very conspicuous pool of blood that should be here is clearly missing. You're right. Don't remember anybody mentioning that they removed the blood along with the body. Let me check with forensics. What is it, Mr. E? What did you figure out? Compare the treasure chest in the photograph to the real thing. In the picture, the assorted chocolate bottom continues underneath the deceased's head. And yet, that part of the chest is now gone. The part with the blood all over it. Exactly. So why did the police remove it? Or perhaps the killer? It wasn't forensics. They said nobody took anything like that away. Interesting. So somebody deliberately removed the blood from the scene. Could be. The stand broke and the ship collapsed with it, and the loud sound made brought Miss Bound running. Yeah, said the ship had already keeled over by the time she got in here. But why did the stand collapse? What caused it to break? Maybe the whole thing was off balance from the get-go. Could that really have been the case? All of Mr. Tangaroa's creations are missing a little piece each, including one of the stands that was holding up the ship. Somebody really went all out. Do you think he could have been the killer? It's certainly a possibility. Either way, I think we can safely say the stand was damaged in our mystery person's tampering spree. And when it broke, the ship fell and smashed open the treasure chest, which would have remained closed otherwise. I think we're about done here for now. Well, if I wasn't convinced before, I am now. Tangaroa did it. No two ways about it. What do you mean? All the rooms in this place locked from the inside. The only way to unlock them from the outside is with this key. I see. And who had access to that key? Who do you think? Tangaroa. And it's the only one. There aren't any copies. With the mansion key, Tangaroa could slip into anybody else's room anytime he liked. And he could even lock his own room from the outside if he wanted. No, Mr. Tangaroa's room wasn't locked, was it? No. Which is exactly what makes him a suspect. Would you care to explain your thinking? Bring it on. Why I think Tangaroa did it. If the door had been locked, the body was found. Tangaroa would have been the obvious suspect, which is why he deliberately didn't lock his room. And why he smashed the lid of the treasure chest so the body was on full display. Everyone was supposed to gather in his room when the judging finished up, so he made it look like the murder happened while he wasn't there. The one thing he didn't plan on was Bound finding the body. Anyway, that's my thinking on this whole thing. Good enough for you, Mr. Attorney? Do you also believe that it was Mr. Tangaroa who damaged the other pieces in this room? Yup. I know you have to believe your client. That's your job. But I'm a detective, and I serve the law. And no matter how squeaky clean somebody might seem, a little suspect is still a suspect. I fully understand your reasoning, detective. Now, would you mind if I applied a little critical thinking of my own? Do your worst. Just as the detective won't compromise his devotion to the law, I won't compromise my beliefs either. And I'm not about to just accept his version of the events, in fact. I'm going to show him the piece of evidence that highlights the contradiction in his claims.
Hold it!
That's hardly the solid grounds on which you to base your suspicions of Mr. Tangaroa, detective. And that's hardly solid grounds to start shouting objections left and right, right on, Mr. Attorney. Maybe quit interrupting and let me finish.
Hold it!
And why would he deliberately not lock his door? Because if he locked it, he might as well have held up a sign saying he did it since he had the only key. But maybe it's just a coincidence? Maybe he just left it unlocked without meaning to? He just happened to leave it unlocked, and somebody just happened to find a body inside. Come on, kid. You'll never make a detective thinking like that. But I don't want to be a detective. I just want to be an attorney. I'd be grateful if you stop trying to steal my apprentice. Look, there's a reason why Tangaroa left his door unlocked.
Hold it!
You're saying that Mr. Tangaroa himself deliberately smashed the treasure chest open? Yup. If he hadn't, the body would have never been found. I struggle to see how he managed to destroy his creation while judging the contest at the same time. Exactly. And besides, there's no way he would have disrespected it. There's no way he would have disrespected his sweets. He eats every last crumb on bacon bop while dancing. That's the only way his stuff gets destroyed.
This isn't about what happens on TV, kid.
You know about the bacon bop, detective? Am I the only one who isn't familiar with this show? Wow, I never would have guessed. Can you sing the theme song too?
Never mind that now. Focus. The point is this. Tanjiro was responsible for breaking that lid. Everyone...
Hold it!
The judging began in Mr. Gusto's room, correct?
Yeah. Kinda went to check his hard candy stuff out myself. Oh, kinda wanted to check his hard candy stuff out for myself. In that case, how about a demonstration? Well, it's you, detective.
Are you calling him a dirty dog?
It's a wolf! A lone wolf. I like it.
I'm starting to enjoy these little displays.
Anyhow.
Hold it!
Do you have a clear idea when exactly the murder took place?
Not yet. Autopsy report's still pending.
And yet you still went ahead and arrested Mr. Tangaroa.
We may not know when the murder happened, but we know when the body was discovered. It was while Tangaroa was judging Gusto's room. The perfect alibi if he could set it up just right.
But still not grounds for an arrest. Surely you have to agree with that.
Do I? Especially when I've got nothing more to say to you.
Why do I get the feeling he's hiding something? Detective Bad seems pretty convinced that Mr. Tangaroa is the culprit. But there's no way he would have vandalized his own creations, no way. Still, the treasure chest did get smashed in, there's no denying that. Perhaps we should focus more on what led to the body's discovery. Doing so should make it more easier to spot the flaw in Detective Bad's theory. The lid was closed until the ship collapsed. So the body was on the floor. So I'll probably have to use the crime scene notes, okay. Okay, so he's saying he just smashed the lid, but I think in the crime scene notes it says otherwise. It just collapsed. It was close until the ship collapsed, so I don't think he deliberately broke it.
Objection!
Yeah, there we go. It's kind of a weird voice they're giving Gregory. Not gonna lie, I would have expected a bit of a deeper voice. We've established that the body was hidden inside the chest, and that Mrs. Bound only came running into this room when she heard a sound. It seems reasonable to infer that the sound of that was of the chocolate boat collapsing.
Sure, seems likely based on the evidence.
And yet you assert that it was Mr. Tangaroa who had smashed the lid of the chest. I believe this photo makes it clear that it was the ship that did the smashing. And if that had occurred only moments before Miss Bound had entered the room, then it couldn't have been broken by Mr. Tangaroa, who was judging out the contest at the time.
I never said he did it then and there. He could have done something to the stand. So it collapsed when he was in the middle of judging.
Objection!
Have you any way of proving that assertion?
Nope, but the investigation isn't over yet. There's still time.
So he doesn't have anything conclusive. Have you found any prints in this room besides those of Mr. Tangaroa?
Yup, on the door.
But we found Tangaroa's and Frost's print on there too.
We were all brought in here for a briefing right before we started work on our creations. Those prints are probably from then.
I tell you haven't checked any of Mr. Tangaroa's works for prints yet.
Why would?
We know that somebody tampered with them. Therefore, it's possible they left some prints behind when they did so.
Fine, but if we don't find anything, your guy's still on the top of my list. Got it? You! Check all of this chocolate stuff for prints. Now!
Yes, sir. Right away. Detective Bad, we finished dusting the chocolate and we found prints that don't belong to Mr. Tangaroa, sir.
Go on. Whose?
Delicia Scone, sir. She's one of the contestants.
Good work. You can go back to whatever you were investigating before.
Yes, sir. So it seems we have our suspect besides Mr. Tangaroa.
Even without your lawyering input, I wasn't about to wrap up the investigation anyway. I'll go speak with Miss Scone and see what she has to say for herself.
Delicia Scone. Mr. Gusso's mentioned her too. He said she was ruthless, that she'd do anything to win. This Scone lady sounds like a pretty suspicious character, Mr. E. Yes, I think we better try to speak with her ourselves as well. Detective Bad, would you mind if we accompanied you?
Babysitting you is not my job.
Oh, come on.
But I guess you did pick up a couple of useful clues already. So if you want to tag along, be my guest.
Thank you, Detective. You're too kind. But Detective Bad, sir, I don't think that's such a good idea. The lead prosecutor's still busy in there.
It'll be fine. Me and him don't exactly see eye to eye anyhow.
Who is this him? Who did he assign this case to?
Manfred von Karma.
What? They gave it to Von Yarma? He hasn't lost a case in 25 years. Manfred von Karma, a living legend over at the prosecutor's office. We never faced one another in the courtroom, but I've heard plenty of stories. They say he'll do anything to ensure a guilty verdict. But I can't let that distract me. For now, I need only to continue what I believe is right.
To be continued. December 24th, 7:30 p.m. Contest venue, Scone's room.
Whoa, a candy castle! And look, there are even some little elves that go with it.
Rooms laid out, pretty much as the same as Tangaroa's.
It's not as cold though. That's something.
Let's see. Yeah, looks like there's a temperature control panel in here too.
Over there where that orange light is, right? We better take a look at it when we can. There's like a fairy tale storybook in here. And this whipped cream covered construction must be the work of Miss Delicia Scone.
Where is Miss Scone?
Me? Why, I'm just over here, dearie. Oh, just look at you lovely boys. Delicia Scone at your service. Some cheeky blighters back in Blighty even call me Miss Delicious. I'm the lovely boy at 34. Unexpected to say at the least. Oh, lovely. Boys? Really? You and Mr. E? Oh, yes, dear. You, the detective over there. You're lovely boys to me.
I'm nobody's lovely boy, lady. Name's Bad.
I wonder just how old is she? I wonder just how old she is. Finish this up so we can get out of here, Mr. Attorney. Yes, alright.
What's the meaning of this? Chit-chatting with the defense?
Mr. Edgeworth, so scary I just stepped out of the castle. Von Karma. Be right back. Alright. Back. And wait. Yeah, these are set up. Von Karma. What? He's mad for Von Karma? Sorry, Medicans. The notorious prosecutor Von Karma himself. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Von Karma. Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law.
Huh, I couldn't care less what your name is. Your job is to lose to me and disappear, never to show your sniveling face again.
What a thoroughly rude individual. And those piercing eyes, that furrowed brow. You're even scarier than they say. And you might want to keep... You might want to keep such a rude thoughts to yourself, Eddie. We're hoping you might permit us to carry out some brief inquiries, Mr. Von Karma.
Huh, and why would I wish to extend you any such courtesy?
This clearly isn't going to be easy.
So long as your inquiries are limited to this room, I suppose I'll allow it.
Why the sudden change of heart?
You, the tall fellow.
Name's Bad. Is that so hard to remember?
I didn't ask for your opinion. The thoughts of a lowly detective don't concern me. But I do admire your spirit. Bad, see to it that these worms don't step out of line.
Why do I
have to? I am not offering you a choice, detective. I need to go and look over Gusto's room. Good day.
Great. More babysitting. Why aren't Detective Bad and Mr. Von Karma investigating together? They don't seem to know each other well enough for there to be bad blood, bad blood between them. Well, looks like we have permission to investigate. I guess we better get to it. Indeed. I'm not sure I trust Mr. Von Karma's motives, but at least we can do that much. Hold up. I haven't been over this room yet either. You're not messing it up before I get my chance. You'll have to wait until I'm done. Huh? I thought you were the lead detective. How come you didn't take a look at this room yet? Because I wasn't the first one they assigned. One of Von Karma's pets was on the job before me. Right up until just now, in fact. I got here not long before you did. That answers my question as to why they're working separately, I suppose. Let's say we look over the room together, Detective. It worked out well enough before. And you won't have to worry about us messing things up. You can keep an eye on us as we go. What kind of screwball attorney has to have a detective breathing down his neck? Guess I'm stuck with you for a little while longer.
Yes! You're amazing, Mr. E!
You have our thanks, Detective Bad. Don't be too grateful. This is my scene. The second you get in my way, you're out of here. Of course, we understand. Now shall we begin? Don't turn around. Don't turn around. If you turn around, you'll eat it. You can't eat the castle. Don't eat the castle. Yes, he's watching his sugar intake. There's a blowtorch and some chemicals here. I guess it's all for cooking with. I wonder what these chemicals are. Let's take a look at the labels. Mango Down 911? Homicyanide 24/7? 2047? Wait, they're all poisons? No sir, they're common colorings and flavorings used in the candies and desserts. The first is concentrated mango, boiled down to its purest essence, hence Mango Down. They're asking for trouble with a name like that. Now I'm curious as to what homicyanide might be. It's an incredible piece of work. I like to believe this whole castle is made out of sugar and cream.
I know, right? It's like we're stuck in a magical medieval story or something.
I didn't know you were into such fantastical things.
Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get so carried away there.
Oh, no need to apologize. I admire your enthusiasm. I sometimes wish my own son was as animated as you.
You have a son, Mr. E?
I do. He's still in elementary school, and yet he'd rather read a statute book than a fairy tale. I can't help but worry that his interests will make it hard for him to make friends.
Don't say that. He sounds super interesting. He'll make a ton of friends, me included, I'm sure.
I like to think you're more of a big brother to him than a friend, Eddie.
Big brother, huh? Well, guess I have some growing up to do. Better take this more seriously.
Indeed. And with that in mind, shall we continue our investigation? I must scout the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. The doors of the castle have been left wide open.
Yeah. Was this guy born in the barn? Could have at least closed it behind him.
I'd like to see you say that to Mr. Von Kammer's face, Eddie.
Wait, there's a bunch of stuff inside. Let's see.
Hold it, kid. If anybody's gonna be handling evidence, it'll be me. Cream's going all runny. It's all over the detective's shoes. Why are all these items being stored inside a candy castle? Alright. Tell me what you want me to look at first. There's a bunch of blue cloth back there. 1, 2, 3, 4 rolls altogether. Well, they certainly are made of candy. No idea what this stuff is for. Almost looks like somebody hid it in here. And I think I've seen this fabric of the same color somewhere else before. 2 big rock crystals? Looks like somebody was using the castle for storage.
Kinda expected something a little more exciting behind those doors. Oh, I know. Maybe they're giant uncut gemstones. Maybe with this whole thing based on the story about a castle with a priceless treasure hidden inside.
I think I'd treat my priceless treasures with a little more care. There's something on the bottom of them. It looks like a little stand or something.
I was right, they are gemstones! The stands must be so that they can be put on display.
Well, whatever they are, it seems that they are not just a large set of paperweights. These pillars have a hexagonal indentations. Looks like it's something supposed to go in there. Well, whatever they were, they're long gone.
Hexagonal indentations, huh? I wonder.
Castle's covered in whipped cream, so maybe a giant strawberry.
A giant strawberry with a hexagonal bottom?
Look, I like strawberries, okay? Can't blame a guy for wishing.
I prefer bananas myself.
Blueberries for me. The rock crystal stands and the pillars in front of the castle feature the same hexagonal shape. I believe the crystals are meant to be placed on top of the pillars.
Oh yeah, hexagon to hexagon, makes perfect sense.
Well, if that's the case, then why are they being hidden inside the castle? The rolls of blue cloth and the rock crystals inside the castle. I imagine both must belong to Miss Scone. Miss Scone? What were you using the items inside the castle for?
Oh, those? Sorry, Duncan, but I'm not allowed to say.
Let me guess. 1 karma.
How did you know? Please don't ask me to leave. You'll have my guts for garters.
It seems the prosecution really has no intention of sharing anything with the defense.
Man, thought we were onto something with those giant rock crystals, but...
What's that, dearie? You're interested in my little trinkets?
Your trinkets?
Yes, my sweet. I use them to make people all lovely and relaxed.
You use rock crystals and cloths to do that.
I do. It's wonderful. You should see it. And they're not just any old rock crystals either. They're great big lumps of salt with lights inside of them.
Wow, those things are lamps?
Gee! Oh, that's not even a half of it. Those cloths are hold an even more exciting secret.
She really opened up the moment we started talking about her trinkets.
Since you're here, why don't I give you lovely boys a taste of my relaxation magic, Oh, Betty Bumpkin, can you get it all out and set it up for me?
The name is bad.
Is it a no? Why be so selfish, Betty Bumpkin?
You, have you finished taking photos of this room yet?
Yes, sir, we have, sir.
Then help Miss Scone here with something, will you?
Yes, sir, right away, sir.
Gee, oh, you're such a sweetie at heart, aren't you, Betty B?
That's amazing, Miss Scone. You gotta do exactly what you wanted. And that's some talent.
Thank you ever so much, Battykins, and you, Officer Lovely.
She's even giving names to the forensic guys now.
I guess it's her way of showing that she cares. So, what about it this is supposed to be relaxing exactly?
Oh, don't be a big sourpuss, Betty B. The fun's only just beginning. Officer Lovely, you can switch it on now.
Yes, ma'am. Oh.
Huh.
Wow, it's beautiful.
It is. I wish my son were here to see it.
Isn't it though? Isn't it just wonderful? The four adorable elves in the sweetest little castle made of sweets. That's my theme, you see. And I thought it would be extra lovely if it was all lit up. Isn't it the nicest thing you've ever seen?
One of the elves must have been feeling a little left out.
This is how they were supposed to look for the contest. But I'm glad you lovely boys got to see it at least.
Wait, should the lamps be lit up too?
Oh, what's happened there, I wonder?
I think we better take a look at the lamps and the elves one more time. This elf doesn't have an illuminated cloth over it like the others.
It's not fair to leave the poor guy out, Mrs. Stone.
Well, I didn't want to, did I, dear? But one of my clothes and one of my little machines went missing.
A cloth and what sort of machine exactly?
Oh, you'll never guess how it all works. Those luminous cloths are connected to these little thingamajigs. They're called, full spectrum light emitting devices. They send light down the main cable into each optic fiber strand. That's what makes the cloth glow. With a little bit of fiddling, you can change the light to any color in the whole wide world. Bright red like ferocious, fiery flames. Tall blue pink like glistening crystals of ice. They have these special batteries that last for donkey's years, and they don't mind the cold at all.
Forgive me, so these are machines.
Then what makes the special luminous cloth light up in these beautiful colors, Mr. E?
I see. So much new technology, I can barely keep up. So these light-emitting devices, you lost one of them and a piece of the luminous cloth.
That's right, Lambkin. Heaven only knows where they could have got to.
This cloth, it could have had something to do with the case. Oh yeah, I must scour the scene and expect anything that catches my attention. The lamp appears to be broken. Bulbs are smashed, both of them.
Maybe they fell and broke on the floor? Look, there's a red stain on the one on the left.
That's not just no, wrong voice. That's not just a stain. Yup. It's blood, alright. I can smell it.
What? Blood?
Why is there blood on this lamp? Could it have something to do with why the bulb is broken? We better take a closer look at the other one too. So Miss Scone had actually intended to use these lamps in her display. Then why were they stashed inside the castle?
Maybe because they're broken?
Except, there's plenty of other places she could have put them.
The best place to hide some salt is in some sugar. Isn't that how it goes?
Or perhaps the best place to hide a tree is in the forest. Anyway, if her intention was to put these salt lamps in a final display, that contradicts a certain piece of evidence in my possession. I'll need to point that out by making an introduction.
Eureka!
Look at the— oh, I fucked up. Ow.
How about a lolly? $2 a pop. I think I might need to do something with this first.
We know that the victim was struck and killed with something blunt, and we found blood on one of the lamps, which has a smashed bulb inside. Could the lamp not have been the murder weapon?
For sure, it could have definitely do enough damage to kill someone.
You, science guy, did you finish analyzing the blood from the lamp yet?
Yes, sir. Just got done a minute ago, sir. The blood is the victim's, no doubt about it.
There you have it. So the murder weapon was hidden in Miss Scone's room. I'm beginning to think we may need to add her to our list of suspects.
Okay.
Eureka!
No, fuck.
Yeah, it's stained with blood. My shoes are already covered in cream. I wouldn't go any closer, unless you want the same thing to happen to you. We've seen what's behind those doors. We've seen what's behind those doors. There's really no need to look again.
There's some piece of evidence. There's so much blood. I still can't believe it. The murder weapon stashed away in the candy castle.
You don't have to look, Eddie. It's okay.
I'm fine. I mean, if I'm gonna be an attorney, I need to get used to this stuff, right?
Yes, I suppose you do. I look forward to seeing the man you become.
So the lamps both have these hexagonal strands on the bottom, right?
Yes, I imagine the indentations on the pillars were made to accommodate them.
And boy, do they fit like a glove. This lamp isn't working.
No, unfortunately, it appears to be broken.
Would have been nice to see it all lit up just once. Miss Scone said it's good for relaxation, right? I could use some of that.
Perhaps I get one for the office. A roll of cloth, navy blue. It's a very common hue. I like it.
Yeah, that was really deep and all, Mr. E. But let's get back to the main event already and light it up.
Alright. But I wasn't trying to be deep or anything though.
Whoa, look at all these buttons.
I believe they're for changing the color of the light. Try pressing one, Eddie. There, now the cloth is all lit up.
It's so pretty no matter how many times I see it.
The cloth is now glowing with a pale blue hue thanks to the light-emitting device.
Did Miss Scone say one of these cloths and its machine are missing? What do you think could have taken them?
I have no idea, but I suspect it might have something to do with our case somehow.
I guess I just put it here? Well, I mean, it only needs one though, but I'll try.
Nope.
Isn't there something in the evidence that these decorations go against? Oh, the rules, right! Oh my god, I forgot. Oh wait, I pushed the wrong button. The rules.
Eureka!
Take a look at the list of rules for the contest, Detective. Non-confectionery items may not be used as decoration. That means the salt lamps and the luminous cloths would have been against the rules.
Is that why they were stashed away inside the castle?
I think we need to dig a little further into this with Miss Scone before we can say it for sure.
What's the matter, Miss Scone? You seem a whole lot less cheerful than you were a minute ago.
Is it Miss Von Karma? Did something happen between you two?
Why, yes, nothing happened at all.
Huh? But you just said yes.
That was, hello, yes, you silly little boy. Aren't you just a little sweet as a little sugar dumpling? Remind me, what was her name again?
Oh, Eddie.
Eddie Lumpkin. Oh, you'll go far, dearie, I can tell.
Eddie Lumpkin?
It seems our English gentlewoman has taken a liking to you, Eddie. No small accomplishment.
She's not exactly what I picture when I think of a gentlewoman, Mr. E.
Never mind that now. We should ask her a few questions while we can. Could you tell us about what you did over the course of the contest?
Of course, dearie. Let's see. It also about 10 in the morning. That's when we set to work. And, well, I spent most of my time here in my room, getting everything ready as you'd expect. Oh, and then there was a lovely afternoon tea for an hour or so from around 1, I think.
Afternoon tea?
It's an English tradition, a chance to drink tea, enjoy a snack, and make small talk.
So, kinda like recess?
I suppose you would say that.
Oh, you really know your onions, don't you, Greggy Pegleg? Such a clever boy.
When did I become Greggy? And what was this afternoon tea served?
Under the garden, of course. There's a lovely little one just outside. We do it at the same hour every break time during the contest. Lay on a nice little spread, you know. But today only me, Samson Sillypants, and Moody Judy were there for it. Sammy Poogie had already finished his big creation. so he was there the whole time. Before Lord Chili Wings and Gusty Pants had to miss out because they hadn't finished yet. Bless them.
You're saying that everybody except Mr. Frost and Mr. Gusto was present.
That's right, dear. To tell you the truth, I hadn't finished yet either. But I wasn't about to miss out on the Team Geek served by our two TV superstars. I went right back to work when I finished, though. To laugh when the others were still nattering away.
And at any point during the contest, did you visit any of the other competitors' rooms?
Why, I know, dear. Don't be silly.
That's strange, because your fingerprints were found in Mr. Tangaroa's room.
Comrade Erland.
Wait, so you admit you were there?
Oh, well, I can hardly deny now, can I? But I didn't kill anybody, I swear. I suppose I better tell you what really happened. Just promise you believe me when you want to, dear.
What exactly were you doing in Mr. Tangaroa's room?
Well, I suppose you call it research.
Research?
Sammy Booby, damn hand when it comes to the old sweet making. Everybody knows that. So when I noticed there was no one in there, I just popped in for a quick bit of research, like I say.
What kind of research leaves fingerprints?
Yes, it stands to reason that I leave fingerprints, doesn't it? After all, that's hardly research if you don't have a little nibble now, is it?
What? You ate little pieces of them?
So, the traces of tampering in Mr. Tangaroa's room, that was all you.
I'm ever so sorry, sweeties. I didn't mean to make it a mess. I had to take a little bite here and there, didn't I? I didn't want poor Sammy Boo getting upset, so it's just the teensiest bit sand pieces.
Understand, holding of the ship. You took a bite out of that, you took a bite out of that too, I suppose.
Oh yes, dear, of course I did.
It was you! You brought the whole thing crashing down!
I'm sorry, my lovely, I truly am. I am.
Hold on. Is that why you left the afternoon tea early? You're the one heading off for a second helping of sweets?
Just please believe me. I never killed anybody, I promise.
Your actions were certainly suspicious, but that's all about we can say for now. Green skills.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah. This.
Nope. Worth a try. These must be the various tools Miss Scone used to build her castle. Buckets filled with cream, trowels, and a brush. Is she a patissier or a plasterer?
Don't you ever make jokes about expense, you cheeky young devil? I don't just slap stuff on the walls like a silly old pasturer. I left the spread to go lovely and smooth, and then work out all the rough patches.
That's literally exactly what a plasterer does. It's a cute little elf made of candy, and it's sitting on a little tree stump. The fabric above it and the other decorations around it really add to the dreamlike atmosphere. Stare at it for too long and we might get swept up in the fantasy ourselves. Yeah, well, our job is to stay right here in reality and get to the bottom of all this. Nobody's getting swept up in any flights of fancy on my watch. Okay, fuck.
What's there left to investigate?
The four adorable elves in the sweetest little castle made of sweets. So that's the theme behind Miss Scone's creations, huh? Unlucky for her, things aren't quite as sweet around here as she's trying to make out. Oh. There's a small door on the wall here, just like Mr. Tangaroa's room. Here, I'll open it.
Huh? Temperature 68 degrees. I'd set to read.
Didn't you so say cream needs to be kept at 50 degrees? Temperature in here is too high.
Oh, okay, now that's why I connected red cream.
That is odd. I wonder why. The whipped cream in this room is collapsing because the temperature is too high. It's 68 degrees. My messed up shoes can vouch for that. And yet... when you open the doors to the castle, the handles themselves were just fine. Yeah, they were sturdier than expected. Sturdy? That's not the way I would describe most things made out of confectionaries. I think we better take another look at those handles, don't you? What the? I think it's safe to say those handles are made of candy. It's not just the handles, the whole castle. The little elves. They're all just plastic bottles with whipped cream smeared on top.
What? So none of this is confectionery art after all?
No, it's simply made to look like candy, with cream having been added to lend it all an air of authenticity. So not only did she use decorations that were against the rules, she didn't even make any real sweets. Miss Scone made a mockery of the rules. Yeah, guess she's not going to get crowned world's greatest now.
And why is it so warm in here? Do you think it's got something to do with all this?
So that's a good question. I think we better go ask Miss Scone herself. Miss Scone, why is the temperature of your room set to 68 degrees?
Because I hate the cold, don't I, dearly? And besides, being chilly is no good for a girl. If I want to keep my fresh face complexion, I've got to be careful about these things. Ladies has to stay young, don't you know?
How old is she really, though? That's what I would like to know.
It's not polite to speculate on a person's age, Eddie. But most of your work is made out of whipped cream. And whipped cream needs to be kept at 50 degrees or it starts to deflate.
Is that so, dearie? Well, silly me, eh? I've only got I made a whoopsie.
Wait, she really didn't know that?
World's class confectioner my foot. Not only did she break the rules by using fake candy, she's ignorant of the basic facts about her supposed craft. Miss Scone grows more and more mysterious by the minute. She's a phony! Miss Scone appears to lack basic knowledge about how confectionery is created. As she says, she snuck into another entrance room for research purposes. Hardly the actions of a world-class confectioner competing for a major prize. Yeah, not how I picture a top pro acting. Not how I pictured a top pro acting. Does she maybe just lack a little confidence, or is she not actually a confectioner at all? Perhaps she had another agenda altogether. After all, we only have a word for it that she went into that room to do some research.
Wait, you mean... Maybe she went in there to commit a murder?
There's no way of saying for certain just yet, but she is hiding something. That much I'm certain of. Yes, heal me, please. I've taken so much damage. Emotional damage. That's enough investigating for now, don't you think? Yes, we've certainly found plenty of interest. Something's been bothering me for a while now. Mr. Von Karma would surely have found the murder weapon when he searched this room. And yet he didn't arrest Miss Scone. He didn't even seem interested in questioning her. I think our first priority should be to find out what she's really up to. Detective Bad, I have a few things I'd like to ask Mr. Von Karma. Me too. Him and Scone.
Uncle Betty Bumpkin, stop staring at me like that.
It appears Detective Bad is just as suspicious of Mr. Von Karma and Miss Scone as I am. Miss Scone, would you be so kind as to accompany us?
Of course, dear. Where are we off to?
To find Mr. Von Karma.
December 24th, 8:05 p.m. Contest venue, Fountain Road.
Mr. Von Karma, we'd like to speak with you if that's alright.
Tschüss. Judging by your faces, I'm guessing you found the murder weapon.
We did. It was in Miss Scone's room. Which means that Mr. Tangaroa should no longer be the only person of interest.
Ha! Nonsense. It doesn't matter where the weapon was found. Tangaroa is guilty. And as long as this is my case, guilty he shall remain.
How could he be so sure of Mr. Tangaroa's guilt? You have an explanation, I assume, for why the murder weapon was in Miss Scone's room.
Of course I do. And I'll be delighted to share it with you.
Oh, first, Gregory versus Von Karma action.
The murder weapon.
Tangaroa killed Frost with one of Scone's salt lamps in order to frame her for the murder. To complete the deception, he took it back to her room once the deed was done. After all, if he had been found near the victim's body, Tangaroa would have seemed doubly suspicious. A body may be hard to move, but a murder weapon considerably less so. And that is why there was no piece of evidence on the scene that pointed to a particular suspect.
So it's your assertion that Mr. Tangaroa took the salt lamp. So it is your assertion that Mr. Tangaroa took the salt lamp back to Miss Scone's room.
It is indeed, but it is more than an assertion. It is a fact, based on my own investigation.
You mean you have proof that he did so?
I don't need any such thing. Tis. If you have a rebuttal, I'll be happy to hear it. But I highly doubt you'll be able to fault my logic.
Oh boy. This is gonna be something.
Hold it!
So he took one of the salt lamps from Miss Scone's room back to his own.
Indeed. He prepared it beforehand, knowing that it would be the perfect weapon with which to kill Frost.
But we found the lamp in Miss Scone's room. Surely this casts Miss Scone herself in a suspicious light.
Perhaps if you would let me finish. Now, as I was saying...
Hold it!
You're talking about the lamp made of rock salt that was hidden inside the candy castle, correct?
Precisely. I was the one who found it. So be grateful. It's nice to me that you even have such a vital piece of evidence.
What made you go inside the castle in the first place, if you don't mind me asking?
Good point. Maybe you just want to see what it was like in there?
Fools! You think I went in there on a whim? I went in there because detectives are an incompetent lot, so I investigated myself.
But I had nothing to do with the initial investigation.
That's right.
That's right. Detective Bad wasn't a part of this investigation until very recently.
If you want my trust, Detective, you'll have to earn it. And a good first step would be to stop wasting my time. Now if you'll allow me to continue.
Hold it!
But he came under suspicion anyway due to the body being in his room. So what?
Would you like to hear a favorite expression of mine? Even a dog can hold still and stay. Now let me finish.
If only I could say the same to you.
Hold it!
So you think he hit the body in the chest but removed the murder weapon from the crime scene?
Yes, he foolishly believed his own creation to be the perfect hiding place.
I'm sorry, I had to help myself.
I think you mean you couldn't help yourself, no? She doesn't seem very sorry to me.
In any case, the weapon was taken away, while the body remained at the scene of the crime.
Hold it!
But if there's no proof, how can you say for certain that Mr. Tangaroa is the culprit?
Chiss. Is that the best you can do at pressing me? Listen here, the presence of the body in Tangaroa's room is in itself proof enough of his guilt.
Objection!
And you didn't find evidence pointing to any other possible suspects. Perhaps you should take another look. You might.
You really don't give up, do you? There's no need to take another look. Tangaroa is guilty. End of story. If you insist on asserting otherwise, then you can show me some proof to back up your ridiculous claims.
I think I'll have to back over to the scene of the crime. If Miss Tangaroa really isn't guilty, then there must be something that points to somebody else. Pressing one comment on any of his statements won't have much of an effect, I fear. My only hope is to find a piece of evidence that contradicts his claims.
Yeah, I already can tell firsthand because I just pressed all of them.
When a scone salt lamps on the reframer for murder. Okay, let me double check. Yeah, let me shows that. Blunt force trauma.
The seal?
Charles John, it's a first murder.
If it had been found near the suspicious body... Okay, this is to present to that one. The seal.
Objection!
There we go. No? It wasn't the seal? No? What? Oh, okay. I would have thought the seal would have pointed to somebody. There's no particular evidence in the scene that point to a particular suspect.
Okay.
No particular evidence in the scene that would point to a suspect. I guess we could still do this.
Objection!
No? Okay, so no. Okay, what's the contradiction there?
Let me look at the evidence. Okay, so. Oh, this is pretty difficult.
He took it back to the room that he was done. Oh wait, I think I present the crime notes. Yeah, I think that's supposed to be it.
Objection!
There we go. That took me a while. It's true that the murder weapon and the bloodstained chocolate were removed from the scene of the crime, but something else remained. That does point to one person in particular. Take another look at the photograph of the body, if you will. The cloth covering the victim's lower half. Is that not one of the same luminous cloths we found in Miss Scone's room?
Oh yeah, I should have noticed that.
Oh, what's that, dearie? One of my lovely colorful cloths? At the scene of the crime, you say?
Huh. Luminous cloth. Nonsense, I see no light to speak of.
I guess he doesn't know how it works. It may look like ordinary fabric at first glance, but attach one of these light-emitting devices, and the difference soon becomes apparent.
Look at his face. I don't think he was expecting that.
But the fact that the cloth can be lit up is neither here nor there. We have to show why it's important. One of the rolls from Miss Scone's room went missing, and if you look closely at the blue cloth in the picture, Wouldn't you say it's clearly made of the same material, Mr. Von Karma? The salt lamps and the luminous cloth both belong to Miss Scone. And seeing as the body was wrapped in said cloth, surely that even you have to admit that's suspicious. Mr. Von Karma, I think it's time to accept that a number of factors point to Miss Scone as a person of interest. Oh, she got over the foot.
Crazy bag like a country, you're accusing me of all people?
I'm not accusing you of anything just yet, but I do think you're hiding something.
That's not...
Just to clarify, your assertion is that both the murder weapon and the cloth were in Miss Scone's room prior to the murder.
Exactly.
Tis, 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 tis.
And something funny.
Only that you walked so carelessly into my trap. Neither the cloth nor the murder weapon were in fact in her room. Sorry to have to break it to you.
What does he mean?
Tagoro spotted them before the contest began, and knew that the lamps and cloth have contravened the rules. He subsequently confiscated them, and took them to his own room for safekeeping.
What?
Then, after the contest began, nobody saw hide nor hair of Frost as he had secluded himself into his room. And the only person capable of entering his locked room was Tangaroa, possessing as he did the only key. And as you now know, he was also in possession of the lamp used to commit the murder. So you see, I have had everything I needed to get Tangaroa convicted all along. Well, how does it feel? You have to have lost to me before even setting foot in the courtroom.
Ugh. This can't be happening.
Wait, all our hard work was for nothing? Miss Scone, why did you tell us your stuff was confiscated by Mr. Tangaroa?
Well, dear, Madigan says if I spill the beans, I end up being one of the suspicious.
Mr. Von Karma said that?
And he wasn't wrong now, was he? You don't accuse me of such just a second ago.
Tis, tis, tis. Pathetic. Curse you, Von Karma.
You led us to the murder weapon knowing we'd make certain assumptions as a result.
One more thing, my pathetic friend. There are 2 and only 2 sets of fingerprints on the murder weapon.
2.
Yes, those of Delicia Scone and Samson Tangaroa. No others were found. Tangaroa used the lamp he had confiscated to murder Frost, and was foolish enough to hide it in Stone's room without first removing his fingerprints. Tis, tis, tis. At this rate, no one will even need to testify. My perfect evidence will do all the talking for me as I secure his guilty verdict.
Objection!
But wait, what about the luminous cloth that was left behind in Mr. Tangaroa's room?
What about it? He probably meant to return it after disposing of the body. Ugh.
I don't have enough to disprove any of what he's saying.
Tis, tis, tis. No more pitiful objections. Then get out of my sight and close the door behind you.
Mr. E?
I'm not about just give up.
I see you mean to waste more of my time. Bad, escort them off the premises now.
This investigation is not over yet. Detective Bird.
What is the meaning of this?
Sorry, but I'm not in the habit of leaving cases half solved. There's still one last thing from the crime scene we haven't identified. He's right. We still have the evidence of somebody's activities to account for.
We can discuss your lingering doubts at our leisure, detective. But whatever they might be, there are no business to the defenses.
Objection!
I beg to differ. There's a piece of evidence I'm still not satisfied about either. And I suspect it might be the same thing that's bothering Detective Bad.
What?
This is the yet unidentified something that was left in Mr. Tangaroa's room. Besides the seal of the fingerprints.
Take that!
There are fingerprints on one of Mr. Tangaroa's creations. Supposing they belong to the murderer. It would certainly explain how the prints didn't end up on the murder weapon.
How do you know so much about the crime scene?
Because I let them look around.
You let the defense examine the scene, Bad. Are you out of your mind?
I don't remember you telling me not to.
Huh, insolent worm. You do well to remember this then, detective. That the results of your next salary review is up to me. Ugh.
Detective Bad's in trouble now too. I'm sure glad you're my boss, Mr. Edgeworth.
As long as you remember that the results of your salary review is up to your performance on this case.
A mere attorney uncovering such a fact based on a cursory investigation. I'm almost impressed. But it's entirely possible that those finger marks belong to Tangaroa. After all, he wore gloves while preparing his creation.
Objection!
But can you prove conclusively that the finger marks are his? Furthermore, there is still something about Miss Scone that doesn't add up.
Is there? Or are you simply not prepared to admit defeat?
Oh, stop it, Grace. Stop it. Why are you being so mean to your poor old pal Delicia? I own up to nibbling poor Sammy Boobies. Sweeties, what more do you want?
I don't want to make you...
I don't want to have to make you a suspect. That much is certain. But you lied to us. And you're still not telling us everything.
Grace, stop it. Stop bullying me.
I'm sorry, but you don't even know the temperature whipped cream should be kept at. What kind of professional confectioner doesn't know something as fundamental as that?
I'm sorry, alright? I'm just sorry I'm a silly, muddle-headed girl. What more do you want me to say?
I don't think you're muddle-headed at all. I think that you were never a confectioner in the first place.
Enough! I'll thank you to keep your baseless accusations to yourself. Evidence is everything in a courtroom, in case you've forgotten. If you're going to accuse a witness of perjury, then I demand that you present something to back it up.
But this isn't a courtroom, is it? Nevertheless, what proof do I have that Miss Scone doesn't know first thing about making desserts?
Fake confections.
Take that!
Every single one of Miss Scone's creations breaks the rules of the contest.
The offending items, the cloth and the lamps, were duly confiscated, as we have established. And the witness did not go and bring them back to our room either. I'm sorry, I skipped that incident.
But those weren't the only rule-breaking items in her room.
What?
The entire fantastical world Miss Scone created, every last bit of it. It's all just a collection of plastic models slathered in whipped cream. That cream is the only authentic confectionery in the room! No real world title contender would ever stoop so low.
Is this true, Bad?
Yup, saw with my own eyes, stepped in it with my own shoes.
Did we finally convince him?
With their lies exposed like this, surely you can't continue to deny the facts. Miss Scone, your actions place you firmly on our list of suspects.
No, dear, I'm no killer.
Then why don't you finally start telling us the truth? Who are you really, and why were you tampering with your rival's work?
Alright. The truth is, I'm not the adorable little cook you see before you. I'm actually a pharmacist, if you can believe it.
A pharmacist?
I can't blame him for being so surprised. This couldn't be further from what we'd imagined. So what's somebody in your line of work doing entering a contest like this one?
Well, I just love eating sweeties, if you must know. And some people sweeties are the best, or so they say. I just had to enter. I didn't mean to make it. End up making it all the way to the final.
Even Mr. Von Calm is a loss for words.
That's it? That's the only reason you're here?
Yes, dearie, and it was worth it. Samson City Fancy Sweeties are the tastiest treats I ever did eat.
And the finger marks? Were you the one wearing the gloves?
No, that wasn't me, dear. I don't even wear gloves.
Remember, Miss Scone's fingerprints were found elsewhere on Mr. Tangaro's other creations. I say that points to her not having worn any gloves.
Exactly, Man King. Great Spectre got the right end of the stick. I'm an innocent woman.
Is your head filled with cream too?
Sorry, mannequins.
Her head may not be filled with cream, but she's certainly no master of subterfuge. Miss Scone, were Mr. Tangaro's works the only ones you sampled?
No, dear. I couldn't help myself. When I finished my afternoon tea, I took her to Chili Winks' room for a little taste too.
You were in the victim's room too?
Yes, dear. Nobody was in there, you see.
Quite possibly because the occupant was already dead.
But I could only stomach one little bite. I never tasted anything so salty in all my life. So I had myself one of those tasty star-shaped bits off to the side to cleanse my palate.
Star-shaped bits, okay. You have quite the sweet tooth, don't you, Miss Scone? Indeed. What didn't she sample?
That's everything, I promise. Ricky Diggles, mannequins, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make a mess of things.
As long as what you've told us is the truth, that's all that matters in the end.
Do not think for a second that this means I myself believe you. I'm going to investigate the victim's room now. We'll see how truthful you've really been after I'm through.
Mr. Von Karma, please, let us accompany you. I think it's only fair that we be allowed to investigate the veracity of our conclusions.
Huh. Accompany me if you like, but don't think for a second you'll be permitted to conduct your own investigation.
I'd like to accompany you all the same.
December 24th, 9 p.m. Contestant venue, Frost Room.
What is the meaning of this?
Oh, they're all melted. When we got to Frost's room, we saw nada. It was all gone. The whole enchilada. Was this the work of the culprit? A dead body hidden in a chocolate chest. A murder weapon moved mysteriously to another room. This case was a real peach, and it was gonna take some serious sleuthing to get to the bottom of it all. Let's see, do we have the time to continue? Let me double check some things. We're in the middle section. How long did it take to get that? Seems like it took, okay, it doesn't seem to take too long. Okay. I think I'll end it here. Farewell for now, and we'll continue in the next stream.